Hello and welcome to video number, I think it's 5, where I'm doing the Silkribbon leaves, and I used some smaller silk ribbons that came pre-dyed. Again, I'm going to put the link in the info box. It was the same place where I ordered the white ribbon that I dyed later. And this smaller ribbon, it has some color changes within it, and I thought that was pretty neat because every leaf looked a little bit individual because of that, and it made it seem more natural. I think you can buy them all in one color as well, but if the color's changing slightly, I think it's prettier, but you can do what you want. These are 4mm wide, by the way. I don't know what that is in inches. I think they're a pretty standard size of silk ribbon because I saw several shops who offer them in 4mm. I think you can do small flowers with them, or in my case, leaves. But of course, if you wanted the leaves to look, I don't know, daintier, you would probably have to use smaller ribbons for that. Let me explain really quickly what I'm doing here. You can't quite see it because I'm doing the leaf that it is a bit further away from the camera, but I'm following the general outline of one of the leaves that I just did. You can see some already finished in the back under my hand there. And I'm going along the sides of the leaf, and I'm starting at the bottom left of the leaf. I'm working myself up to the tip of the leaf, which is on the right side, and then I'm going back the other side. And there I tangled my threads and pulled one of the sewing threads up to the front through the hole. That's not what's supposed to happen, so I had to rectify that. And always make sure that the ribbon is lying flat. If you tangle it or twist it, it's not going to look very good. And it's really hard to fix after you've already done more parts of the leaf, so you've got to do it the moment the error occurs. Now, one really important thing about these kinds of leaves, which I only found out after the first one, is that you really have to hit just the right distance between the individual bits of silk that you're putting there, because if you're trying to overdo it and you put them too close, it's going to look lumpy and they're going to rub up against each other and they're going to basically wrinkle up and it's going to look terrible. And if you put them too far apart, then your leaves are going to look kind of sad and dried out. So you want to find just the right distance between the pieces. Also, the ribbons will have to have enough space to spread out. That's really important. One thing that you can see here is that I'm not spiraling the silk ribbon through the fabric, so I'm not creating a huge bulk. I'm coming out from the bottom, going in at the top, and I'm not pulling the ribbon to the bottom again, but I'm going in at the top again and then pulling it down again. So the backside looks kind of funny, but this way has many advantages. You don't use up that much silk, and the backside doesn't get as bulky as it would if you were spiraling the thing, kind of like with a spiral lacing. And also the color change that I have in these ribbons is a lot more gradual. If I was spiraling the silk ribbons through the fabric, then the part of the silk that's in the back, you wouldn't be able to see it, and the color change would be very rapid throughout the leaf. And here you can see really well what that looks like when the silk ribbon starts twisting in on itself. And the issue is that that's a really hard fix once you've pulled the entire length of the ribbon back through the fabric. Here you can see it twisting, and it's twisted. And this doesn't look good anymore. But what you can do is you can pull it out once you notice it. And see, I'm pushing my thumb in here. And I'm pulling softly, and then it stays the way it should. Here's the backside for a second, so you can start to see where this is going. So one thing to keep in mind is that not all leaves grow alike, so if you're going for naturalism, then you should probably take a good look at the kind of plant you're doing, because you might notice here that some of the leaves are a little lopsided. That's because the leaves usually don't grow completely symmetrical, so they're usually a little bent, and then the one side is a little wider than the other. That happens a lot in nature, and well, I did it because it looks cool and it's very rococo idealistic to have it be not quite symmetrical in all the details. And the bits are getting smaller and smaller the closer I'm getting to the end of it, and the last bits are just a few millimeters long and you can hardly even make out the silk ribbon anymore. One last little tip, maybe keep those little snippets that are left over after you've finished with a leaf, because it really sucks when you're almost done with a leaf and you're missing like an inch or half an inch and you don't have ribbon in the right color left. So those might come in handy later. Alright, this is it. This is the leaf from the back. This is what it looks like. And this is the front. I really like this coloring. And then you do that a couple of more times and then you have an entire plant and it starts looking nice. Okay, see you in the next one.